Hey guys, this is Angelica coming at you really quick, and I just wanted to do this because I just came across a little situation or whatever somewhere, and let me give you a little history on me. Yeah, I am a teen mother. I had my son when I was 17 years old, and I had my daughter when I was 21. So I had my experience with the whole teenage parent thing, the whole teenage mother thing, dropping out of high school, and just being stuck in that place, like trying to grow up so fast and trying to figure out what do you need to do to provide for you and your child at such a young age, and especially if you don't have a good support system, it's very very hard. So I came across a girl, a child. In my eyes, I'm 25, but she's younger than me, so she's a child. She's like 15 years old. Okay, she lives in my neighborhood. I just seen her walking, and she was pregnant. And I'm thinking, okay, what is this baby? So I, rolled down the window. I was like, are you okay? And she was like, yes, ma'am. She was like, can you take me home? So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll take you home. And so she got in the car and we just started talking, asked her how far along was she, and she said she was like 7 months. And I asked her, did she, have somewhere to live, and did she have any help and stuff. I was just talking to her, making conversation. And she was like, no ma'am, I live with my boyfriend and his friends. It's like five dudes there, and her and one of her friends, I guess boyfriend or whatever how it is, her and her friend lived there with their boyfriends or whatever. So she was just saying that how her mom had put her out. Her family had just basically didn't want to have anything to do with her because she had gotten pregnant at 14. Well, she's 15 now. She's about to have the baby in a few months, but she just turned 15. So I'm thinking, how could a mother turn their child away in such a time like this? And it really doesn't fall too much on the children. I think it's mostly on the parents and how you raise your children and how you teach them up to be. Now, I'm not saying that my mother, and my father messed up when they raised me, as far as me getting pregnant and stuff. But I guess the parent. If my child were to get pregnant at a young age, yes, I would be mad, and I wouldn't know how to react to the situation. But I wouldn't just throw my child out and leave my child with nothing and abandon my grandchildren, because that would be like me leaving two human beings, out to fend for themselves. To make a long story short, the child don't have any clothes. The baby has nothing. She hasn't been to the doctor. She hasn't had any medical care. She doesn't know what she's having. Um, she went to like a little Save a Life, a little clinic here that told her when she found out how many months she was and when she was due, that was the only care she has. She don't know the sex of the baby. She doesn't have a job. The boyfriend doesn't either. So they don't know how they're going to pay the bills. They don't know how they're going to take care of the baby. She's not familiar about the government programs such as WIC and, other things to help her. She didn't know about public housing and stuff like that. So by me being a teenage mother, and my mom died when I was 18, I had to grow up and I just had to get out there and get it for myself. So by me having this knowledge, of how to survive, I went ahead and gave her this information, and I told her, if you ever needed me to help you do anything, and I gave her my number. But I just don't think this is right, because teen I don't think the young women have the correct knowledge on birth control. I don't think it's being introduced properly. I don't think it's being taught properly. I don't think the parents are taking the time to explain to the children exactly what can happen. You know what I'm saying? The peak age from sexual activity now is from the age 15 to the age of 19, and it's like 750,000. I seen somewhere teenagers that become pregnant each year, and it's like so crazy to me that this is happening. And teenage mothers, they account for, I think, 12% of all births in the United States, and that's crazy. And it's like, I don't know. I just would like people to what let me see this. How can I put this? Parents to better speak. Tell their children about the effects and stuff like that. Like what can we do? The prevention and stuff like that. They know there's birth control out there. Okay, but how do they go get it? Most children are scared to talk to their parents about birth control because of the way they think they're going to act. So they don't say anything, and then they go have sex, and then they get pregnant. And then like now the mother, they kick them out and stuff like that. And this is touching me because I was a teen mom and I dropped out of high school because I didn't get the chance to go back. And then after my mom got sick and she passed away, I was left on my own with a child that I had no clue what to do or how to provide for me and my child, because my mother was there, taught me everything, and now that she was gone, I had to fend for myself. So I took it upon myself. I had motivation. I had took it upon myself to go and find out do you have any place to stay. I found out how to get emancipated, to say that I was grown so I could get a place to stay for me and my child. I found out about, I'm not afraid to say it, I found out about food stamps. I found out about child support. I found out about WIC that'll provide milk. I found out about Medicaid that'll provide for my child to have medical insurance. I found out about all those type of programs. I found out about the Head Start program, which is a free program for kids to go to school from 6 weeks to 5 years old to daycare while I went to college and school. And that's my daughter now is in Head Start. So it's a lot of things, a lot of resources that the teenage mothers that they are not getting. So they're giving up and they're dropping out of school and they're not working and they're not wanting to do anything because they don't have anyone to motivate them or just to show them the correct way to go, is what I'm saying. And I think it's falling a lot on the parents, because right now my son is in first grade. And y'all, I kid y'all not, I got the paper here somewhere. They have to make eggs for like the flower baby things or whatever. We have to play like a baby. So we have to boil the egg. We have to dress the baby up, put the baby on clothes. They have to make a little bed for the baby. They have to take care of this baby all day long like it's a real baby. A bottle, everything, y'all. And so I'm like, okay, that's starting this at a young age in first grade. And I was shocked. But my husband was like, well, no, that's good because, it's starting to teach them responsibility now of what can happen. Now, I think that the pregnancy thing is going to happen, and yes, it can be prevented, because if I can talk to 10 girls and out of 5 out of the 10 girls get pregnant, then I feel like I'm doing something. That'll be 5 out of 10 instead of all 10 of them having babies. And I think the consequences of being a teen mother, you can't complete high school. I mean, you can, but you got to have somebody there to help you to take care of the baby while you go to school, that's going to watch the baby. And, you're going to have some support. And it's hard because people, the children, the boys and the girls are starting to have sex at age 12, 13, and 14 right now. So it's like, it's crazy. And then it's so, like, the system is set up. It's like the teen mothers, they're more likely to end up on welfare and, other stuff like that. And not saying that anything is wrong with that, because I have been there before. But it's a place to start. It's not a place to stay. These government programs, food stamps and all that stuff, it helps you to get where you're going. It's not somewhere for you to stay. It's somewhere for you to continue to grow while you're trying to do all this stuff. Okay, and it's like only 1.5% of high school teenage mothers that have a college degree by 30 now. And it's just like they're saying, like, the sons that are born to teen mothers are more likely to end up in prison, while teenage daughters are more likely to become teenage mothers themselves. Now, it's rare that you see a teenage mother and the father together, because they're young and they haven't even explored their lives yet. So they don't really know what they're going, what's going on right now. And this lighting is horrible, y'all. But anyway, I had to do this video because it was on my heart. And I just, think that we should do more as a society, as a whole here, to prevent teenage pregnancies, because it's a lot of shows like that, Teen Mom, 16 and Pregnant, all that on MTV. It makes it, I don't want to say it glorifies it, but it makes it look glamorous to be pregnant and, going through all these cabatos with these baby daddies and stuff like that. Now, they say it starts at the home with the whole sex thing. If you talk to your children about it early and tell them how to prevent it early, I think it would help a whole lot of, of the misunderstandings and the fear, because I was scared to talk to my mother and my stepfather about sex. Like, I had a boyfriend when I was 16. And I was like, I ain't telling her. You know what I'm saying? It's like my mama never had instilled that sense of respect in me and fear in me, like I better not do nothing wrong or I know they're gonna come down on me. It's just a type of, you know, when you're doing something and you've been raised right, you always have this right here. Now, you know you don't supposed to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? You have that thought in your head. But when do we tell our children about birth control? When do we tell them about how to prevent sexual transmitted diseases? When do we tell our children how to prevent teen pregnancy? How do we, how do we prevent all of this from happening? How do we prevent the statistics of steady rising with the black population, the white population with the teenage mother? Because it's more than black teenage mothers. There are white teenage mothers, Hispanics, all the different races. There are more than just black people that, young girls that are getting pregnant. Now, most parents are in denial when they find out that their children are having sex. When you find out, get that child some contraceptive methods, some birth control. If you don't want to be a young grandmother, or you don't want to take care of no more children, or you don't want to raise nobody else's children, because 9 times out of 10, if you got a teenager having a baby, it's going to fall back on the parent or the grandparent or whoever. It's not going to fall on the child, because the child don't know what to do. It's going to be more responsibility on the parent. So why not, when you find out about it, get them some birth control. Talk to them. Look, baby, I know you may or may not be having sex right now, but we gonna get you some birth control if you ever decide you want to have sex, or if you decide you ever want to have sex. You'll be prepared. You know what the condoms are for. You know how they're used. Honey, you better get you a banana out and show that child how to put that condom on that banana. You got to show. It just starts with the parents, okay? I just say it just starts with the parents, and it really does. To me, it really does start with the parents, because a child don't know, don't know. And I'm proud to be a teen, have been a teen mother, because I came over, so much adversity when I was pregnant. It was so many people, I was going to school and stuff like that. But people was like, you're never going to do this and you're never going to do that. Listen, baby, if you're a teen mom out there, don't ever let anybody tell you you're not going to do anything, that you are not worthy or you can't succeed. Baby, you can. And I just think we need to be more encouraging, to our younger parents and just younger mothers. And just don't think because they're a teen mom, or you see a 15, 16-year-old girl pregnant, that child could have been raped, that child could have been molested, anything could have happened to that child. That child may not have even had knowledge of what sex was until it happened. Nobody probably has ever talked to those children, that boy and that girl, about sex. Nobody ever told them about birth control. But around here right now, in this day and age, there's a lot of technology and a lot of shows just like 16 and Pregnant and all the other shows on TV that show a baby story, that shows the different stories. But I think MTV, it's a good show because it's telling the girls, they show the pregnancy, and then they show the whole baby daddy drama, because most of them end up without their baby daddies, and then it's only on the child. Then you go through child support and having to fuss and fight over who gonna help what, and then if he ain't got no job, you ain't gonna get no child support. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that could be prevented. I'm gonna start talking to my child as soon as I can. My son he'll be 8 this year. I think next year I'm gonna start talking to him about sex. I think it needs to be done. Boys have sex faster than girls. Girls, they genuinely about the same in my opinion. But boys, they genuinely, it's easy for a boy to go out and have sex, because the boy don't have to the son doesn't have to bring the baby home. The daughter does. So I'm going to be preventive in both aspects of my children's life. My daughter's 5 right now. She's way too young to even be thinking about that. But I just want to know, YouTube family, when is a good time for us black women, parents, not just black parents, all parents, when is a good age should we start talking to our children about sex, how to prevent STDs, how to prevent pregnancies, and how, if they are pregnant right now, how do we need to encourage these young women and men to finish high school, be productive citizens, get jobs and stuff like that. I just want you guys' opinion. So let me know how you feel about this. I just had to share this with you guys because I went through this today at work. When I work, it's like I'm around stuff like this all the time. And she was walking, I'm on my way home, and I seen it. I had to stop. It's just in me and my character to just be caring like that. But if you guys just rate, comment, let me know what you think about this video, what y'all think about when is a good time. Bye, you guys.